Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And wow, I gave myself a challenge yesterday, a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I was going to try to just give the 10 sources to follow if you're on Twitter to really cover this space. You know what? That's impossible. You just can't do it with only 10 people. And not only that, is you can't do it just with Twitter. So if anybody says everything is happening on Twitter, they're wrong because it's not. You have to go on to other platforms. And I'm telling you that the platforms like the dedicated websites out there, or the YouTube channels, or the Patreon, or the Coil, it is a must. I mean, you just can't do it on one platform alone. I think I would be amiss to tell you that if you're on YouTube, there are probably close to 50 channels you should be watching. And if you're on Patreon, put some skin in the game and give some money to the people who are aggregating news for you. I mean, XRP Arcade is one that really deserves a shout out. But there's dedicated websites along with these YouTube channels, and Coil. Get your $5 on the subscription and start monetizing the people who are doing those blogs. I could give you an arms list, and the purpose of this video is just to start that conversation, because as a community, we are really, really strong, and there are a lot of new people who have come into this space, and it takes time and experience to learn how to curate a group of people to bring you to a point where you really feel like you are getting all the news. So the purpose of this video is I'm going to share with you 2 aggregators and 10 different people on Twitter that I follow and the reason why I follow them. But again, this is not a full list. I mean, how could you not talk about people like To the Lifeboats, or King Solomon, or Kevin Cage, or Working Money Channel, Jungle, On the Chain? I mean, this is just such an important part of getting all the news, that if we were to take my 10 and then have everybody add their curated 10 in the comment section below, I think it's going to be very, very valuable for everybody to see who we might be missing, because this is a perfect example. I've been following Darren on Twitter for a very long time, but I had personally missed his YouTube channel. And I found that I think a lot of people, his YouTube channel is going under the radar, and he's doing a lot of great work. So the purpose of this, is not to necessarily highlight the people that I'm going to talk about. It's just to get the conversation going so that everybody doesn't miss somebody who is under the radar. And if the person is new to this space, they have a way to quickly learn where to go for curating their custom news. All right, the first one I want to talk about for me, and it is very Japanese. It's the PR Times. This is the #1 distribution site in Japan. They get 52 million page views a month. I think it's important for me when I'm covering things from Japan. When it comes from curating news from the West in the crypto space, I don't think anyone's going to disagree that Crypto Panic is one of those that is very, very good. It's got a lot of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and it's got the news articles coming from Cointelegraph. Crypto Lark gets retweeted on here. Binance, Daily Hodl, Data Dash, Omar from Crypto's News. We have Justin Sun, Kava Labs, Roger Ver, Ivan on Tech. I mean, it's very, very, very good. It's a potpourri. It's missing some of the news from Southeast Asia, and it's missing some of the news from Latin America. That is where I would really love to have some feedback in the comment section to add the missing links for that part of the world. And box mining, I'll tell you, thank you so much. I've been following you for 3 years, and lately you're really doing a good job of keeping me up to speed on DeFi. You're one of the sharpest guys in the space, and you're a real educator, and I wanted to give you a special shout out. All right, so remember, these picks, they are my focus, and it's just a starting point. One, Reuters Japan. Why Reuters Japan? Well, because I also get the Reuters from the West, so it's kind of double bang for my buck. And then I go to FinTech Singapore. And when I follow the Singapore version, they retweet their news from Malaysia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, India, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, and Japan. So again, another big bang for my buck with just one source. This other one is number 3. It is the South Morning China Post. The reason being is because it's a little bit like RT, meaning they don't skew their news to please or cater to the West. So I think it's good balance. The 4th is a person who is Yogita Khatri. Yeah, she is writing for the block right now. She has written in the past for CoinDesk, the Economic Times, and also Reuters. She is cited often in the New York Times and CNBC and sometimes the MIT Tech Review. Just make sure you're following her wherever she's writing, because she's one of the fastest and most talented for finding a story. Number 5 is Mr. Kitao. This is Yoshitaka Kitao, the CEO of SBI. Now, I'm positive, without a shadow of a doubt, he has an SNS manager managing his account, but the notifications are good. It always tells me when he has updated his diary, who the guests are going to appear on his television program. The focus for the World Economic Forum is good. The White House, the Wall Street Journal, the Japan Times, the Nikkei, Japanese politics, whether it's left or right, NHK, yeah, it's all across the board. And of course, as a person who's following Ripple or digital asset XRP, you want to know about his mergers, his acquisitions, his investments. This is the updates for all the holding companies that fall underneath that umbrella. It's important. The number 6 is fairly recent for me. This is Cream Method, and they are a VeChain partner, and it is a portal that keeps you up on anything VeChain. So if you are following VeChain, this is maybe a consideration for you. Now we get into the focus of Ripple and XRP. There are 2 people who are really doing a wonderful job when it comes to retweeting news, and also they're both, you just can't choose one or the other. XRP Crypto Wolf and I Am Legion. And not only is it Ripple and XRP, but it is also fintech in general. The IMF, the BIS, R3, SWIFT, blockchain projects globally, MoneyGram, Economic News, XRPL Labs, Spring, PayID. These 2 guys really have it covered. I'd love to see if there is anyone in the comment section that is added of people who are doing a similar kind of work, because for me, I would just hate to lose these 2 guys because they're very important for getting a very broad spectrum of news. Number 9, that would be Galgatron. Of course, yes, for the reports. Yes, yes. I like the charts, but most of all, it's the humor. And number 10 is David Schwartz. And David is good when it comes to FUD. If there is any FUD, he is very quick and accurately putting it to rest with facts. And not only are his tweets valuable for setting everybody straight, but what an amazing sense of humor as well. Very witty. And I just can't see how you wouldn't have David Schwartz in your list of who to follow. All right, everybody, we are jumping to a little fluff. So be sure to add your people in the comment section, because I think it's going to help everybody that's been around for a while, or those who are just new to this space. I'm going to introduce to you somebody who's very modern in some very old traditional ways. This is Angie from Germany. She's on the right here. And then to the left is Takuma Fukumori. And the two of them together make up a combination of artistic creativeness that is just wonderful. He is a machine embroidery artist. And then Angie is one that does the creations using kimonos that is out of this world. The two of them together do collaborate, and they collaborate in a gallery called Gallery 201. It's here in the Shinagawa-ku area, I think Nishigotanda area. Kind of write it down somewhere so that you can remember when you are in Tokyo, if you're interested in seeing what really fresh talent is doing in Japan. This is a couple that are really worth taking a peek at their gallery. They also exhibit other artists. I think their exhibition that was planned for August has now been postponed to November, but we have to keep an eye on it because eventually this world is going to get back to a little bit of a more normal period. But here's an example of his embroidery art, his machine embroidery art. It's bold, it's fresh, it's in your face. I just love it. He puts it on all types of apparel. And then this is Angie. She keeps an Instagram that will captivate you for a very long time in looking at all her kimono collections. And here is her website, which is equally cool with some work and apparel. I will put a link to it in the description below. And in just the last 24 hours, she made a big announcement. I want to show you, but you can see this is an example of her creative work where she is being followed by everyone all over the world. It's just great. It's really, really, this is outside the box kimono creativity. But I want to show you, this is her post in the last 24 hours. She made an announcement that she is 6 months pregnant. So congratulations, Angie. I can't wait to see the baby pictures and the possible creative work that you do for children. I think that's just a perfect new second chapter. All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.